Hello, welcome back to the Viking Code School demo for building a style sheet. So, we're going to take a look at the basics. So you can click on this basics link here, and as you can see, we have some text that is highlighted, different colors, and we can tell that there's some styles going on here, but we don't know exactly how they're getting applied. So, in order to do that, we're going to take a look at our source code. So we have our basics HTML here. Don't need to worry too much about the nav. That's not what we're focused on here. We're focused on everything under example here. So first thing I want to look at is just this regular old p tag. And I want to look at the style sheet that applies to this HTML. So we have some boilerplate style sheets that get included basically on every page that we have in this project. And then we have one style sheet down here that is specific for basics. So let's take a look at that. So that's going to be in style sheets, basics, and we have an ID of greeting here, a class of big, and selector, an element selector for P. So this shows us the three different types of, main three different types of selectors that you're going to be using in CSS. There is an element selector, there is a class, and there's an ID. So element selectors, these are going to select all. This is going to select all P tags. So by default, element selectors, they select every single one of that type of element. So this is going to make all of the P tags have a background of dark green and a color of white. We have the property name here, and then here we have the property value. Same thing here. So this is what makes our P tag here have a background color of green, dark green, and a text color of white. So next, we'll look at this class, big. So this selects all elements with a class of big. So the important thing about classes is that they are actually meant to target multiple elements, but only those elements with this class. So you can see here that I have a class of big on this P tag right here, and I can apply that to a bunch of different P elements or P tags. But I have an ID here of greeting, and IDs in CSS are meant to be specific. So this is meant to only target a single element. That's the difference between IDs and classes. Now this is largely up to you. It's up to you to use classes and IDs in the conventional way. So only applying an ID to one element, applying classes to multiple elements. But this is the convention, and this is what developers expect when they look at CSS and your markup, that classes and IDs will be used in this way. So we talked about IDs, classes, element selectors, properties, and values. But let's talk about part of what makes CSS what it is. It's cascading style sheets. So what does cascading mean? Well, it means that styles are placed on top of each other, meaning that as you go down and you execute this CSS, we're going to execute this first, then this, then this, and basically we're going to say apply these styles, and then apply these styles. And if for some reason the styles that we're applying later on happen to override the styles that we applied before, override them. But those styles before still get applied, meaning that if we remove the styles that we placed down here, it's going to fall back to the styles that we placed before. Let's look at an example of this in action. So I'm going to say down here, P background. Oh, I don't know. Let's say dark blue. So now all P tags, unless otherwise specified with the greeting, are now going to have a dark blue background. And there we have it. So you see that this style here, the ID background, that takes precedence over this because it's more specific. CSS will apply a kind of priority to IDs and even classes. So here's another one that we could do. You can say background orange. And now we see that the P tag without either an ID nor a class applied to it stays dark blue, but the class takes precedence over the P tag, and then the ID takes precedence over just having a regular P tag. So this is the idea of cascading style sheets, because when I remove this, you'll see that it falls back to the dark green color. So those are the basics of CSS.